Welcome back, folks, to the Star Sportscast, episode number 5. It's Plastic Fork and Spoon Day! I'm Joe Catullo, Andrew Grimm. How you doing, Andrew?
Good, Joe. How you doing?
Good. You think Mike hates us for when we just throw random crap around?
Yeah, the look on his face would say that he hates us.
Yes. So last week was candy. This week was plastic fork and spoons. Next week, maybe it'll be Mike's head.
We'll come up with something.
But for now, let's come up with what we think about last week's games and predicting for this week's games. We are heading into week 6, technically the halfway point of the season. You excited?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, that means it's almost over. All right. I'm an idiot. All right, we'll just pick it up from there. Good job editing.
This is all in there.
Oh, you know what? Before we get into this week's games, Andrew, Treads, you forgot yours.
I got the Ohio State hat.
Yeah, they beat you on LB. Congratulations. No, it's not LeBron James, Derek Anderson, because I have weird jerseys. Don't ask me why. All right, now let's go to this week's matchup. First, we always start with number 1, again in Division 4, Big Red, 5-0 at Dover. Last week, Big Red defeated Pittsburgh USO. UFO. You can't see me, whatever. Big Red won 55-20. Any insights?
Well, I got 464 rush yards for Big Red. Just another dominating performance on the ground for them.
I thought you were going to continue. No? Okay. We both had Big Red. We both had Big Red winning. Dover's had pretty good clubs the last couple of years. Dover's 3-2 this year, but we're both gonna stick with Big Red.
Yeah, Big Red's number 1. You got to go with number 1 until they drop, right?
I guess. Next game. Well, okay. Well, you're a little bit off here. Where are we going here? Weir. Okay. Well, we're gonna do with Weir. Weir 4-1 are gonna be at Union Local 5-0. Weir knocked off Petersburg 75-7 last Saturday. That is a school record for points in a game. I was there for the first quarter. My golly, it was 20. My golly, it was 28-0 Weird by the time I left, and they just never stopped from there. Union Local pounded Edison. I was also there for that game. What was the final? 54-0.
Yeah, 54-0.
Edison just had nothing going on. Union Local looked pretty good. They also have a lineman who is 385 pounds. No one's going to get past him. Anyway, did we both pick Weir for this one?
I picked Union Local.
Oh, I did too. I
We
don't know
both
where I was
picked
looking.
Union Local.
Well, I just think, seeing Union Local against Edison, nothing against Weir, but I think the main factor was that Union Local has a home game, and Union Local just kicked some butt the last game against Edison.
It should be a very good game, though.
That might be game of the week. Next game. Who we got here? Brooke at Indian Creek. Brooke won its first game last week, while Indian Creek fell at St. Clairsville. You got any insight there on what Brooke did?
Brooke beat Pittsburgh Perry 34-20. 225 pass yards and a 28-yard rush touchdown for Yost.
That'd be Gage Yost, for those who don't know his first name.
First win of the season for Brooke.
How about Indian Creek? I think it was a pretty close matchup, and St. Clairsville pulled away from them a little bit later on.
34-28, very close game, looks like all the way through. Brennan Norris, Indian Creek quarterback, had 360 passing yards and 2 touchdowns.
Oh, I didn't know he had that much.
And Indian Creek, normally a team that's known for running the football, had just 46 rush yards, so the passing game was all they had going.
Yeah, but okay, going off of that, though, last week, Morgantown ran for like 400-plus yards against Brooke without throwing a pass, so I think that's the main reason why we both have Indian Creek winning this game.
Absolutely.
All right. What do you want to go to next? How about Edison? Oh, man, another game of the week. I'm being serious. When two teams struggling on the year face one another, it could be a good game. Edison 0-5 at Glen 2-2. We just talked about Edison being dismantled by Union Local, to say the least. Glen was up 14-0 over winless Warren Local, and then later had to kick a game-winning field goal just to keep Warren Local winless, and now they're 500 on the year. We both, though, what we got? I got Edison in this one.
Yeah, I've got Edison, too.
Oh, I didn't know you got Edison, too.
I didn't look at your picks, I promise.
Are you sure? I don't know. We just think that Edison just has a great shot this week, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, you said you saw them against Wellsville, and they looked...
Yeah, they looked okay. But the first quarter I saw them, but they lost that game. Looking at Edison and watching a couple games against Glen, I have a feeling Edison's going to win this one.
We'll see what happens. It should be a good game.
Okay, next game. Harrison Central 1-4 at St. Clairsville 4-1. Harrison Central's coming off a big loss to who, Andrew?
Martins Ferry 42-39, another really close game.
Oh, 42-39. I thought the score was more lopsided. That made me think of another game.
Huskies had 433 yards of total offense in that game.
Oh, either way, I think we're both picking St. Clairsville to win this week.
Yeah, St. Clairsville coming off a big win over Indian Creek, which we just talked about.
Let's talk about it again. No, let's move on. Matthews, who are 3-2, we don't know much about them, at 4-0 Madonna. Still, I think Donovan Kirby is the best player in our area. Another 200-plus yard rushing performance after Madonna finally played their first home game of the year.
Yeah, Madonna's been really impressive this year with Kirby. I think we were looking the other night, over 200 yards in every game so far for them.
He already has about 955 rushing yards in 4 games.
Yeah, I mean,
And
potentially could be a 2,000-yard rusher.
Their school record, I think, is 2,100 yards.
Yeah, could
roughly,
be close.
give or take 50 yards.
He's got a shot at it for sure.
If he stays healthy. Hello? Oh, that was me. All right, next game. Columbiana 3-2 at Toronto 4-1. Another Columbiana County team that Toronto's going to face. Toronto, you were there. They killed Letonia, who is still winless, I believe.
Yep.
What insight do you have from that game?
Well, the insight I have from that game is the quarterback, Carafa, is legit. I mean, he was throwing the ball very well, and he only had 4 carries.
I didn't mean to hit your head. Sorry.
Coach Meek limited his carries in an effort to keep him healthy, and he still had 65 yards and another touchdown. So.
And when you got there, I think you were surprised to hear their number 1 receiver, Jay Keenan, was out.
Yes, so he had a big night without his number 1 target, so even more impressive.
Okay. Who do we have in that game? I have Toronto.
I have Toronto as well.
Coming from Lisbon, Columbiana's had some really good ball clubs the last 2 years, but they lost some guys, including their starting quarterback, so that's why I think Toronto's going to keep that high-scoring offense going.
Hard to bet against him right now.
Speaking of hard to bet against, Buckeye Loco 0-5 is at 3-2 John Marshall. Buckeye Loco is coming off yet another loss. That losing streak continues, and we feel like it is going to continue. We both have John Marshall.
Yeah, I mean, until Buckeye Local shows us that they can win a game, I mean, they're the underdog every week, so.
Maybe not in a couple of weeks when they face Edison.
Yeah,
if Edison loses this week.
That could be game of the year potential right there.
Don't get too far ahead of yourself. All right, and then we got a Saturday matchup. Barnesville 2-3 at Catholic Central 3-2. Homecoming for Catholic Central. Catholic Central coming off an upset over then number 7 ranked in Division 7 poll, Warren JFK. And I was at that game. Catholic Central, I'll give them credit. I don't know what happened the 2 prior weeks when they were on the road, but they looked like or at least sounded like a completely different team when they faced Warren JFK.
Yeah, a couple of their wins this year have been against teams that they probably shouldn't have beat in big upsets. So, I mean, they're the upset special team this year.
Who's that, Catholic Central?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
do you have stats on Justin Hartzell by any chance? I know he had like a couple touchdown runs of at least 66 yards. He had
171 rush yards and 2 touchdowns and 122 through the air and another touchdown.
After the first quarter, he got jacked up on one hit. I thought he had a possible concussion, but he later came back in and led him to that victory. Good for him.
Catholic Central as a team had 398 rush yards. And I have a little note here that Ed Lumen was right again.
Ed Lumen's always right. That's why we call him Boom and Lumen. Anyway, the prediction, we both have Catholic Central, right?
I have Catholic Central, yes.
So do I. Okay. The other games we were projecting, Ohio State at Rutgers. I know you probably always got Ohio State. Mm-hmm. That was kind of a tough one. Rutgers, I think, has a chance, but I'm still going with the Buckeyes.
3-1 at 1-3.
Fine. All right. Next game, Rice at Pitt. We need at least 15 games every week, okay? And people like Pitt. We both got Pitt actually winning this one. We'll see if they do. We'll see if they want to eat that rice. Oh, God, that was so bad. The other game that we had to put on, Notre Dame College from Ohio a D2 school, I believe. They both have D2. At West Liberty. That's a Thursday night game. You got Notre Dame. I got West Liberty. We don't agree on everything, I guess.
I guess not.
We are agreeing on Indiana at Penn State.
Yep, that's going to be Penn State.
Steelers at Ravens. You got the Squealers. I got the Ravens. So they lost 44-7 to the Jaguars. Coming from a Browns fan, that's nothing. You can bounce back from that. And then you got the Bengals. I got the Browns.
Yep, the Bengals actually showed signs of life this week. And last week I learned my lesson, picking the Browns. I'm never doing that again.
Well, you don't think the Browns showed signs of life? They were down 28-7 and only lost by 3.
They were playing the Colts without Andrew Luck.
So you lost to the freaking Bears. Good job, Steelers. See, Browns, we expect to lose, and then you lose to the Bears.
Yeah, Steelers always play like crap against bad teams, so.
Well, they kind of didn't show up for that game like they didn't show up for the national anthem.
Yeah, they pretty much just stayed in the locker room the entire day. I don't think they ever actually came out.
I don't think Le'Veon Bell is back to full form yet either.
No, it doesn't look like it.
I'm done. That does it for the 5th episode of the Weekly Star Sportscast and Week 6. Hope you enjoy your matchups. Hope you enjoy this episode. Leave a comment. Like us. Dislike us. Smiley face. Little heart symbol. Whatever you want. For Andrew Grimm, I'm Joe Catullo. We'll see you next week. We shouldn't do it on Mondays anymore.
No, we shouldn't do it at all.
Wow!
We should do it by. I sort of like you.